Marvel movies. Everybody loves them. I mean, it's in the name. They're movies you marvel at. Despite some hiccups recently with the MCU, a lot of Marvel's film catalog has been pretty well received for the most part. It's hard to imagine a time where they weren't on top when it comes to superhero movies. But there was. There were so many times throughout the mid to late 20th century that they tried to get their characters on the big screen, with pretty much all of them failing to come to fruition. Except for Howard the Duck. That one came out for some reason. However, there was one way Marvel was able to get their characters into the world of film, even if it was outside of the big screen. You guys were that desperate? TV or direct-to-video movies were the only way for a while to make a Marvel character have a presence outside of comics. And, if successful, you could even get a TV show for the character out of it. One such character was Spider-Man, who had a TV movie in 1977 that eventually led to a series that ran for 13 episodes. However, not every character was as lucky, and that includes another creation of Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, Doctor Strange. Just like Spider-Man, he also had a TV movie, but it was a total bomb, both in ratings and reviews, and as a result, it's pretty obscure nowadays. The only reason I know it exists is because someone left a comment on one of my videos asking for me to talk about it. So, Monkey97, this one's for you. The movie begins in the astral plane, another dimension where we meet our main villain Morgan Le Fay, who's played by Jessica Walters, who if you don't know is the mom from Arrested Development, so every time she was on screen, I thought of her character in that show, and how wildly different it is from her role in this movie. She's working for an evil demon who wants to take over the universe, but needs to break down the barriers between the astral plane and Earth, and needs Jessica Walters' help to do it. There's only one way to break down the barriers, and that's to take out Thomas Lindmer, the Sorcerer Supreme, an old man looking to find his successor. Meanwhile, we meet Strange, and right off the bat, there's already some significant changes to his character. First off, he's a psychiatrist instead of a surgeon, and second, he doesn't get in a car accident like in the comics, and still has his jaw by the end of the movie. Instead, that crash happened to his parents, killing them, and as a part of his inheritance got this ring from his father. Meanwhile, Jessica Walters finds Thomas and possesses a younger woman's body to trick him before yeeting him off a bridge, where he also gets hit by a car afterwards. Morgan then unpossesses the girl, making her watch the old man she just pushed. However, this ended up doing nothing, and Thomas walks it off like a champ, using a healing spell to get rid of his injuries. Clea, the girl who was possessed, keeps having nightmares about Morgan and the incident, which Strange also has due to a psychic link between the two of them. These nightmares eventually cause her to go wackadoo, and she goes to the hospital Steven works at in order to get help before falling into a coma, which is where Thomas comes into the picture. He mind controls all of the hospital staff into letting him in, which is kind of funny, and tells Strange to come into his house with his student Wong, where he's told everything he needs to know about magic. He tells him that Clea's soul is stuck in the astral plane and he needs Strange's help to get her out. He also tells him that he knew Steven's father and that they both know he had the potential to become a sorcerer, and that's why he has his ring. It's magic. He teaches Strange how to get to the astral realm, as well as a spell that repels any demons away from him before going there. We barely see much of the astral realm in this movie. I'm assuming both because of the incredibly low budget this must have had, and also because I'm watching this off a nearly 50-year-old VHS recording, so I can't see a lot of stuff in the dark very well. And this place pretty much eats, sleeps, and breathes the color black. When Steven enters the plane, it goes just how you'd expect. He finds her immediately, repels one demon, and takes her back to Earth. After this, the demon that Jessica Walters is working for is rightfully pissed off, and asks her why she just hasn't gone and killed Strange yet, and she says, and I'm not joking, because she has a crush on him. Ew. The demon tells her that he doesn't care about her crushes, and tells her to just finish the job, or else she'll pay the price for it. With Clea saved, Strange goes to Lindmer and tells him he doesn't want anything to do with magic anymore, and proceeds to ask Clea out on a date. Meanwhile, Morgan is finally able to get past the barriers guarding Thomas's home and absolutely bodies both him and Wong in a fight with some absolutely amazing visual effects, before taking Thomas to the astral plane. Not Wong, he's just dead now I guess. She then starts messing with Clea's mind again as her and Strange are about to go out, and tells him to go with her to the astral realm if he wants her to be safe. When they get there, she immediately tries smooching him of course, and tries to get him to take off his magic ring. He refuses, and then ends up defeating her and returns with Thomas to the real world, as well as reviving Wong. With the demon's plans foiled, he gets angry at Jessica Walters and does the worst thing he can to her. He makes her old. With the day saved, Stephen becomes Thomas's successor, having all of his magical powers transferred to him, and he sets up a date with Claire, who due to all the magic stuff going on, doesn't remember anything after she got out of the hospital. The movie ends with a straight magician, played by an actor that was coincidentally an actor on Spider-Man, who Strange plays a little trick on before going to the credits. And that's the 70s Doctor Strange movie, and I could definitely see why nobody really cares about it, both at the time of its release and today. Not because it's bad, I actually found it to be quite decent overall, but it doesn't really have a lot of what people look for in superhero films, and that's action. All of the action pretty much happens at the end of the movie, and due to its low budget, the spells and magic, the thing the character's known for, look really cheap and bad, even compared to other Marvel productions from that period, such as Spider-Man. And even then, most of the characters doing all this cool magic stuff aren't even the main character. Strange doesn't cast any spells besides burning some wood and telling a demon to piss off. Apparently, Stan Lee hated most of the Marvel shows and movies being made around this time, the only two exceptions being the Hulk and this movie. He didn't like shows like Spider-Man because of how they removed Peter's personal life to just be a full-on action show, pretty much putting no focus on it. And I feel like this movie has the complete opposite problem, where it focuses too much on the character's personal life and not enough on the action. Not saying that I wanted this movie to just be 90 minutes of characters doing funny stuff with their hands, but there needs to be a balance. And I'm glad that Marvel didn't try to make another Doctor Strange movie until the 2010s, when they had the technology to make one without the limitations that this one did. And that's the end of the video. I don't have an ending in mind, so, endo video. Why isn't it working?